Have you ever felt helpless while watching someone you love suffer? Maybe it's your child in pain, your partner struggling with illness, your sister or father carrying a burden you cannot lift. You wish you could take their suffering away, but all you can do is watch. And in those moments, your heart asks questions you cannot ignore. Why does life allow this? Why would God let those we love suffer? Why can't I do something to stop it? There's an old story about a man who came to the Buddha weeping. He said, "My wife is dying. I've prayed for her, begged heaven to save her, but nothing works. I can't bear to see her in pain. I would give my own life to save hers." The Buddha looked at him gently and said, "Every being must walk its own path. You cannot suffer in her place, but you can love without clinging." He explained that it's attachment that makes pain unbearable. When we think they are mine, fear is born. But when we remember they are a soul walking their own road, the pain turns into compassion. The Buddha wasn't teaching indifference, he was teaching surrender. Trying to control what cannot be changed only deepens suffering. Real love allows life to unfold, even when it breaks our hearts. Paramahansa Yogananda said, "When you see a loved one suffer, remember, every soul walks its own path of karma. You may pray for them, you may help them, but you cannot take away the lessons their soul has chosen." He taught that before birth, souls choose the experiences that will help them grow. Sometimes those lessons appear as illness, loss, or struggle. When you witness that pain, your soul is learning too, learning to trust the divine process instead of fighting it. Think of it this way: when you stand up close to a large painting, all you see are messy strokes of color. But when you step back, you see the actual design. Our suffering is like that. Up close, it makes no sense. But from the soul's view, it is part of a perfect plan. If your child, your partner, or your mother is suffering, it doesn't mean life has abandoned them. It means their soul is learning something you can't yet see. Your role is not to fix, it's to love. There's a story Yogananda told about a disciple whose father was very ill. The disciple prayed constantly for his father's recovery, but the illness grew worse. One day Yogananda said, "Pray not only for his healing, but also for your understanding. Sometimes God heals through the body, and sometimes through release from it." Later, the disciple said that when he prayed this way, his fear turned into peace. His father passed away quietly, and the disciple felt sorrow, but also grace. He realized that love does not end when the body does. Have you ever asked, "Why me? Why do I have to watch this?" Yogananda said, when you love someone deeply, you become part of their karma. Their suffering may be their test, but your helplessness is yours. One learns strength, the other learns surrender. Both learn love. There's a story of a monk who found a bird dying in the forest. He nursed it with care, feeding it crumbs and water, but the bird still died in his hands. He wept, "Lord, I only wanted to help. Why did you let it die?" And a voice replied, "Your love was never wasted. You did not fail the bird. You fulfilled its last need, to be loved." The monk then understood, sometimes love is not meant to save a life, but to sanctify a moment. When you can no longer help, when your words no longer reach them, what remains is your silent prayer. That quiet thought, "May you find peace, may your soul be free," carries more power than you know. Yogananda said, when you cannot act, pray. When you cannot hold, send light. Each prayer becomes a ripple that wraps the suffering soul in invisible strength. Even when you cannot heal the ones you love, you can love them enough to trust their journey. In your helplessness, you will discover surrender. And in that surrender, you will find God.